GH exclusive.
Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's a girl, Zaros, and yeah, you guys are welcome. So today I'm so excited because it's the first ever episode of the podcast that I said. So the name of the podcast is King Zaros Podcast. It's just simple, guys. I have any complications and whatever, but yeah, as you can see, I am not alone. I'm with my first guest. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Thapelo Titus Motlhamme. How are you, sir? How are you?
I'm good, and yourself?
Yeah, I'm good. So, before we get into everything, because I know, and some of the people I think know, Hori, you are a writer, and you have published a book, right? So before we get into it, can you please tell us about yourself, or and then obviously, guys, 0264. So can you please tell us about yourself, actually your upbringing?
Okay, my upbringing was normal. Any
How
child.
normal? How normal?
and all that, like any other boy. But then there was a difference. And then the difference was what? I was participating, like I said, whenever that was coming on my way or showing up, I decided that, you know what, I'm gonna take a chance so that I can learn and improve myself.
Okay.
So during that period of time, whereas I was taking chances, I developed some skills. So without participating, I wasn't gonna be able to develop them. So that got me actually to become better than maybe I thought I was going to be in the future.
So these skills it's developing while, because all you think like being playful and whatever, but when you are saying develop these skills, which skills are you talking about?
I've started doing drama at primary school. I think it was on grade 5.
Okay.
Somewhere there, grade 5. I did dramas for almost 2 to 3 years. It was beautiful performing and all that stuff. It kind of like encouraged me to show me that I can do better. Maybe by developing in more theater, so that I can be part of maybe productions like maybe TV and all that stuff, film productions and all that. That's where it all started, I believe.
So I don't like us dikolo, school primary, secondary, like
schooling, it was simple. I went to Thapelo for primary school, and I went to Motlhamme. That was the high school, and later go Hebron. I forget the name of the school. So that's it.
But why change of school? We wanna know why you changed the school. What happened?
It was kind of like when you grow up and then you reach the high school levels, they start a whole think how maybe you are smart enough and all that, but doing things that are destructive. That's all. Nothing much. Just being a boy, trying to discover myself, getting into fights and all those type of things. Yeah.
Do you think more interest in a book, the kind of book that you wrote, like you push it in a way though?
Okay.
Like
the idea.
Yeah.
No, honestly speaking, the idea comes from most people that are using the substances, or the people that are addicted to substances. Most of them, they are my age group. So which means most of them, some of them used to be my friends. So growing up, we never thought that there would be any dangers when it comes to drugs, because of the main drug by that period of time, nearly marijuana. Marijuana cigarette, it was like considered as a dangerous drug by the time that it was growing up. So we thought that marijuana was so dangerous, maybe it killed many people, such kind of stuff. So, and then suddenly there comes a new drugs, earlier 2000s, 2004, 2005, and it changed the game about the drug problem. So I realized that the reason most of youth people, mostly teenagers, fell into this addiction is because of they are not really educated about the danger of substance abuse. You understand? Like for an example, I grew up knowing that towards maybe marijuana and all that. I thought maybe they were going to die. But suddenly they're still here, all of them. You understand?
All of them.
So what was running with the teenager, it was that, okay, they used to tell us that this drug is so dangerous. Because if I remember growing up, they used to tell us that, hey, you rather at least smoke a cigarette instead of smoking marijuana. Cigarette can be better, marijuana can be dangerous. That was the education that we used to have. So when we grow up, automatically you start seeing things by yourself that, now, wait a minute. Is it the cigarette that is dangerous or is the marijuana? You know, you start questioning yourself now. You no more listen too much to parents. Yes, you do the listening part, but as well as the finding out for yourself. So we realize that people who have been smoking marijuana, they're still living and they're okay. So by the time that this new drug was coming in, it was kind of like maybe it's just another upgradation from marijuana to something else. What we didn't know was that it's a deadliest drug that will change part of the game. The way people behave, the way people think, and everything like that. So by the time that it was taken, it attacked very, very hard. So it was so disappointing to look at some of people that I grew up with, like looking very solid and stuff, kind of like they gave up in life just because of a substance abuse.
Well, like it brings me to a question now, why did you write this kind of book? Because we write a horror book, how book, right? Story, what so and when you wrote about drugs, alcohol abuse, you know, so why drugs, alcohol and abuse? Like why that?
No, the main reason is because of the realization that nobody wants to talk about the substance abuse. You know, but immediately when you start to talk about the drug abuse, people think of illegal drugs. You know, they don't necessarily think about legal drugs as part of maybe it can be damaging or something like that. Like what happened in Gambia on June, I think it's almost 66 children who've died from the cough syrup. Linked with, you know, that was
I've
like,
seen it in the
yeah. So like kind of that education is what people need right now. So by the time that I was writing this book, I decided that I'm going to put all the information about the substance abuse in an educational form that the next coming generation wouldn't suffer like this generation that is suffering from the substance abuse. As you can see, even on the news or whatsoever, they hardly talk about the substance abuse.
Yeah, they do.
They hardly talk about the substance abuse. But you go on
it's
our
only
corners.
At school,
It's only at school, and sometimes.
Sometimes.
You understand? And it doesn't only affect people maybe Modika seeing or in this. It affects everywhere. Now you find gangs of male mostly. Gang like 20 men sitting in a corner injecting themselves with one needle. I mean, if you look at it, nobody can just plan to become a junkie.
Nah.
You don't plan that. It happens automatically during the learning or the experiment part. You experiment, you find yourself as an addict. You get my point. We need as well as to understand the word addiction. You can go to gamble and not be addicted. You can have sex and not be addicted to it. You can drink alcohol and not be addicted to it. But there's some other people that find themselves dealing with such type of things, you know, as becoming addictive to them. So what happens is that we as human beings, we are different, genetically and all that. Sports stars, for example, maybe sports stars like Caster Semenya, for an example. You look at the way he is, you know, you first realize that this such type of people, that they have that offspring in their minds that is so quick to doing things, and then they got to that level that we call automaticity, when they do things automatically. You know, they no longer go to think about, okay, no, today I'm going to exercise. They don't think about it. It's automatic. They know that, okay, each and every day I have to do this. So such type of people, if they get into substance abuse, it becomes easy for them to become addicted. Why? Because of their melanin and the drive that they have. Our drives as human beings are different. Those guys who are doing big is because of they exceeded the levels. they are no more human beings. They are superhumans. They are no longer like us, you know. So it becomes easy for such type of people to become addicted.
Speaking of sports stars, right? Period high school, right? Probably you had friends, but they were playing like soccer, netball, and whatever. So have you ever experienced or seen someone at the drugs so that anele mata ale akere mata from the drugs or akhono go dlala, akhono go wina? So have you ever like experienced that or seen that from Motlhamme?
Honestly speaking, by the time that I was still at high school, the idea of drugs can give you an energy to play sports and to do what it wasn't really there because of we thought of what if you are an athlete, they have to taste your loo, test your loo, you know, just to find out what are you using, all type of things like that. So at that period of time, for the sports stars and people like that, it's less for them. But it doesn't mean if maybe somebody looks ordinary, which means they're really, really ordinary. You don't know what they do when they are home, you know. Maybe they're compulsive readers or something like that. That is driving them to become at that next level psychologically. Because it all starts from the mind, whatever that is happening. You understand? We can take two people and put them here and give them the same drug, and you find out that one is highly addictive and the other one is not. It's because of their drive that is inside of them. Get my point?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I wanna know no. I don't more keep lying. Yeah, because I think everyone is a singer, a rapper, you get me, and then Babang know like about the lyrics and whatever. But when did you realize okay no man there's a calf man like because I get it like a so when did you realize you actually write?
By the time that I was starting to write, it wasn't really my plan to be a writer.
Okay.
I've started by reading a bunch of books.
Okay.
And then by reading, I wasn't maybe reading so I can become a writer. I was just trying to make sure that my mind just stayed bright, you know, because I didn't have like a lot of information. The information that was available by that time was that you have to go to school and study this and that so you become that, you know. And then I didn't want to become that. I have whatever that I wanted to be personally, which was like if you choose your own lane, society deems you as stupid because of maybe you are not a person of graduate like the others or something like that. So, but by that time that I was reading, first forward, I realized that in reading, it changes the way I see the world.
Okay.
So I wanted to share some of things that I've seen with my own two eyes changing because of reading on a piece of paper, you know. And then that piece of paper, it became papers now, not just 2 lines anymore. So in that period of time, I knew that I cannot just read and write. I must have a concept of whatever that I'm going to do. So my problem by that period of time was that what type of future are we going to have? Why? Because of why am I always asking myself that question is because of I was looking at the youth and then the pace of the substance abuse. Okay. You know, from the alcohol abuse, I did that personally. I used to abuse alcohol a lot. Like would drink almost, if possible, every day when there's money, things like that. You know. So I realized that we all have problems. That's the reason we are looking for an escape way. Because of addiction, it comes with trying to escape the reality. You know, feeling overwhelmed. And then maybe if I can inject myself, I feel like I'm somewhere else.
Yes.
I'm escaping the reality in that period of time to being in that other world. That automatically will disappear after some hours. You understand? So most of people who are suffering from addiction, it's not really that they cannot be rehabilitated. Just that as a society, we have painted people that, okay, if he's an addict, this is how we're going to treat them. No more inspiration for them. We don't say anything good about them. So automatically what we say to people is who they become. Because if you hear the same negativity each and every day, it's oppressing you. At the end of the day, you don't even have a chance to change yourself or to discover more about yourself. Because we all have to make mistakes. Mistakes grow us. Mistakes give us a reason to live. Mistakes that we have can teach others. Like for an example, the reason why I wrote this book, because of I've suffered as well, and I've wanted to understand why did I get to this point.
You suffered?
Yeah, it's suffering when you in an addiction or maybe when you do something too much.
Also, you did drugs?
No.
Look,
everything that you, alcohol is a drug.
Yeah.
Pills are drugs.
Yeah.
Everything is a drug.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you're in the period of time when you cannot afford maybe to live a sober life for maybe a period of 21 days, automatically you are suffering from the addiction.
So have you ever like tried like drugs? Which drugs have you tried? Can't tell you cigarette because I think cigarette or in buloti, you know, you wanna taste to your go to have a tuba. So which drugs have you tasted? Or like have you tried? Can't tell alcohol and cigarettes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've sniffed. Yeah, that was it. The drug that I thought it was cool, it was sniffing.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was cocaine or what?
I did coke as well.
Coke?
Whoa. I did coke as well.
So how was the feeling like the feeling?
I felt like a legend, like I just robbed 24 bags in one
Hey!
day. Because you feel like extremely energetic and you feel like the brain cells, they just kind of like opens up. Because of why? It damages too much of the brain.
Okay.
You know, you can even feel it when you hit it straight to your head. You can feel like kind of like there's a muscle that is going up and down. Yeah, so that's.
So how come you are here? Like you're not how what's like one not too much. Like hey, wake up. This thing is
Honestly, it was the affordability. If by the time I was affording coke like any time, I think maybe I wasn't going to be able to wake up in it, you know. But because of I wasn't able to afford it, so I could step back easily from it.
But how come? Because I think during that time you were like a DJ. Happy you are famous, to be honest. This guy is famous, guys. Like, I don't know if you don't know him then. Or maybe, okay, maybe I'll understand. But like, he was a DJ, you know, like no it's a like no DJ. So I know what do you mean, how you didn't afford?
By the time when I was a DJ, I wasn't smoking anything.
Okay.
I wasn't addicted to anything by the time that I was a DJ.
Even to alcohol?
Nothing at all.
Okay.
I wasn't an addict. I wasn't suffering or dealing with anything by the time. Things came up later on. I think it's by the time that I started moving to Joburg and all that stuff. So started being in a studio, doing my own production, meeting different mindsets, meeting good artists, meeting all of these kind of things at once. I got exposed to the world, like what is the real world, besides like being caged at home or whatsoever, being at your own, you understand? That's where all things just started. But before that, there was drugs already that were already affecting people, because by the time that we was in high school, like in Nyaupe, it was already on a rise. Like people were already using it.
So you've never tasted Nyaupe?
No.
Why? Or you were not
like even smoking things like a simple cigarette. I did them later on. By the time that I was a child, I believe that I'm a child. I need to learn instead of doing things. For me, smoking was for adults by that period of time.
Okay,
You understand?
Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah. And then it cannot be for adults when it comes to the realm of information. Why? Because of everybody that smokes receives the same kind of damages. So it doesn't matter if you're an adult. You know, the damage will be there regardless of the age or whatsoever.
So how much was it like the coke, like the time you bought it, or your time a person who was close to you bought it, like, and it's or
no, it was kind of like a gram was almost 350 to 400 rand. It depends on the market, you know.
4?
Yes, 400.
And that time nearly kind, so imagine 400 and nearly inch in a way.
You must understand that drugs mainly.
Yeah.
They don't, as I said, that they affect mostly people who have that highly anticipating drive. You know,
Sure.
Those are the ones who are suffering from addiction. It's hard to find a normal employee suffering from addiction, but it's easy to find a celebrity suffering from addiction. Why? An employee doesn't have to think too much. You know? automatically end of month he will get a salary.
Yeah.
But that person who's his own CEO becomes overwhelmed, and at some point you look for like kind of like a getaway space. You know, that getaway space, that's where it leads to trouble or for many people because of we're not really educated about the substance abuse, and that can lead to danger. That's where it becomes dangerous.
Okay. So, have you have ever one a close family or a friend, right? And also like exposed to drugs to a point whereby like something you say rehab one time like or maybe have you lost a friend or a family member due to drugs? And then how was it?
I have cousins who are drug addicts.
Okay.
They've been drug addicts maybe from earlier 2006. You can imagine how many years now. It's years now. It affected me negatively because of I used to look at them and feeling like these are the people who will inspire me, who will take me from here and take me to the next level, you know. But they got robbed by the addiction at the end of the day, which kind of makes it horrible for me. And I've lost a friend as well. We used to be friends, from like high school. So later on, after high school and all that, he started using drugs. He injected himself, I think, in a vein wrong somehow, and he passed away. Simple like that.
But who should we blame? We blame the drugs, or we blame the society, or we blame Bona because it's a choice. Like I want to do this. So in this situation, we blame mama. Who to be blamed? Like here.
It's the society. It's not an individual.
How?
How do we educate people? It's very important.
Okay.
For an example, we can all go to school, but if we cannot have financial education, there's a possibility that in that highly number of people who are going to school, they might still suffer. Why? Financial education is very important. In today's time, we're at that time where like the need to educate people about substance abuse is there now. It's 100% there.
Okay.
We no more expect like a grade 7th student to go to middle school or high school. We found an education about substance abuse.
Okay.
Why? You can have a choice.
Yeah.
Rather than jumping into something that you don't know, you jump into something that you know. Like by the time that we were teaching, we were taught about the HIV and AIDS, the use of condoms, protection. You know, all of us had a clue now that okay, if I use a condom, I might save myself from STDs and all that. So now we are bringing this information about the substance abuse.
But
So
people don't want to use it. It's fine.
yeah, but if you look at the rate, it became better.
Yeah, it became better. Yeah.
It became better. You understand, from 2008 until 2010, 2012, there was a huge difference. From even the medical became better, you know, like things just changed drastically because of the information now was there. We could educate people. You see, we used to see like advertisement every day on TV about protections and all that. So now we're making it visible. So it sticks to the brain, it gets ingrained. So whatever that you do, you always think that, okay, there's a diseases like this and this and that. So now we have a new pandemic, which is normal HIV and AIDS or something like that. It is the substance abuse. It must be there. It must be there. We need to talk about it. We need to educate the young people as well as the elders about the substance abuse.
So, do you think the government is doing enough for as related like I can concur that because there was no way use condom whatever like HIV what at least awareness. So do you think the government is doing enough for information economic travel but more about this thing, but to learn more about the substance abuse?
Honestly speaking, I don't know if maybe we should say is the government again or the society. Because of remember, if we don't say anything, we stay quiet, which means everything is okay. But the minute we start to complain or have a say, which means we're looking for a change, a difference. You understand? That's the reason I came up with this book, because of I didn't want to say that we should have done this and this and this and that. I came up with a solution so that tomorrow we can have something to rely on. Or understand. So I decided that I'm gonna wrap all the information and put it in one book. It's a very, very inspirational and educational book about the substance abuse. That's why on the title you can see it's Remedy to Addiction.
So tell us more about this book. What's going on
in this book? The book shows us different from different aspects, different backgrounds, from poor to rich. Because of like drugs, if you look at the drugs they won't be like, okay, you are black, I'm gonna maybe take you after, or maybe you are Indian, I'll see you later on, or you are white, I'll see you later. There's no such thing. You get my point? The abuse is the abuse, and it deals with us in the same kind of way. It shows us at the end of the day that we are all the same, regardless of maybe the colors that we have. We are all the same because of some kind of drugs. You can see many people who are highly addicted to the same similar drugs, they behave the same. It's either you find them on streets selling cans, trying to recycle things so that they can sell them. You find them in groupies. Why? So that they can contribute and get the fix. You get my point. So these drugs, they kind of like stimulating the same kind of way. Even the wagging our bodies is almost the same, you know.
So without you being biased, right? Because obviously it's your book. What do you think? When you know it, you wrote it, you know, page man, it's a. So wait, now what do you think about this book in general?
What do I think about it?
Yeah, what do you think?
I think this book is the best book that has been released in the 21st century.
Without you being biased. Disclaimer, without you being biased, like for real,
Yeah, I think it's the best book in the 21st century that will like educate people about the substance abuse. Because I'm not like trying to talk about individual one person or talking about myself. And I've tried by all means in this book to be honest, even though some people might not like it. But I've tried to be honest, to even expose things that are happening outside of our own small world, you know, at the entertainment industry, some of the business people, from all these aspects, as I say, to expose the truth. Some others are even decided to come up with like their names because of they're so known that they can help the world about the experience that they had, you know. We lose people almost every day from substance abuse, medication, drugs, whatsoever. Like for an example, by 2020 lockdown, the decrease of accidents in December, we had almost 3% of accidents. You get my point? Like from almost 76 to 80% to 3%. Because of there was no alcohol out there, you know, to be abused. You know, because of we lose people almost each and every weekend. There's an accident going on because of drink and driving, the substance abuse. You get my point? And there are people who still don't understand that, even today, never mind their age or whatsoever. They still don't know about the danger of the substance abuse.
They don't. Hence this question I'm asking. Why should anyone who be listening to this podcast, to your interview, why should they buy this book? Why?
I think it will save generations. I mean, you can read it. You will learn a lot about just the outside world. You will learn a lot about even the children, just by watching children. After maybe you read such type of book about their behavior, you can still pick up something. You know, because of, as I said, it's educational. It's not really based on. It's not a novel. No, it's an educational book. You get my point. I'm trying to educate people in this book about the substance abuse mainly, not illegal drugs. Not illegal drugs, not alcohol or not whatsoever, but substance abuse.
So who helped you with the who editor book like what did you do?
Publishers and all that. This book, the first person that I was working with, it was Bennett Manley, Mr. Bennett Manley, who made sure that the book is error-free, is actually readable. Because I'm not an editor.
Yeah, true.
I'm not an editor. Like, I believe that it came as a gift to me. You understand? So when you must understand that it's similar to a person who can sing but cannot write.
Right, yeah.
So that person will definitely need somebody to write so that they can
Okay,
sing.
so I have a question, ma'am. Why Baba to want the drugs more than women? Because like I think hore ke ba shimane ba botlhe wa mosadi o mmona now so like
Okay.
why
If you look at the statistics, that's a beautiful question.
Yeah.
Thank you, by the way. Like in prisons are full of men.
yeah.
Drug users, men. Unemployment rate affects men still. On Valentine's Day is for women. Mother's Day, women. All these days that we celebrate, we basically celebrate the women's. You understand? Even many men, they know, even on their birthdays, they have to buy something instead of maybe a woman taking you out.
Wow, okay.
You understand? So at this period of time, the society is depressing men unaware.
Unaware.
Yes, like men are no more given a chance to prove themselves or opportunities.
I think, I think for some of the opportunities, we get down and whatever, it's because actually there's a saying where it's a man's world, but obviously it can't be a man's world without a woman. So, like women are used to like the abuse from men and whatever. So no, like everyone they are by a man they know their worth. Obviously we know our worth, guys. But
no,
I think
no, yeah, maybe you might be right by that, but first of all, you should remember, according to the Black Book, the Bible, so which means a man, as we look at him, he's a provider. What happens to a man if a man cannot provide? He loses his dignity, his manhood. You understand? It's more like, let's just say, being in a family where a man doesn't work, it becomes hard for a man automatically. Why? Because we see a man as a provider, and that's how it's supposed to be. So if they cannot provide, they're going to do crime so that they can provide for their families.
Mara, it's not a must though.
To do crime, yeah, we can say it's not a must. Everybody has a choice, you know. But many men, if you find them and ask them, for an example, why are you selling drugs? His answer can be plain and simple. There's no job. I can get a job. I'm studied. I'm qualified this and job, but there's no job. I sell drugs so I can maintain for my family, my children, they can as well as eat. You understand? Why men are in prison a lot? Do we talk about it? Do we talk about the numbers of men that are in prison or that are going to prison each and every day? Is there any chance where men? There's not a chance. It's always about women. Like for an example, right now, I become abusive to you. After I am becoming abusive to you, they're not gonna call a man and sit down with a man and say, "Hey, buddy, what is going on? What is wrong with you?" At what point do you feel like maybe you can abuse the person that you love? At what point? They're going to get a woman, sit down with a woman, like, "What happened? Okay, sorry." But we forget that it's the abuser, not her. Like a woman, actually, yes, she must be comforted after the horrible situation. But the main person that we need to talk to, it's a man, because he is the one who did the damage. And we must remember one thing: an abuser is kind to everybody else except the victim. You get my point? Yes. So we should be careful and learn more how to deal with men. Because of when you're a man, if maybe for an example, I'm going through a difficult time, they will tell me to man up. Men don't need to cry. This is just a bunch of nonsense.
Men cry.
Men do need to cry. when
Cry.
you're in pain, you need to cry, relieve yourself, sit down, think about it, and then come back. There's no such thing that men don't need to cry and all that. It's just the garbage. We need to deal with men as well as by encouraging men as well to do better for themselves, for their families. Like for an example, you look at many men in this country, they're sitting down with like their talents and everything because of they don't get any kind of encouragement. All you hear, as I said, is women this, women's that, women's what, women's. We totally forget about men.
Sure.
So what is happening now is that we cannot balance things they do not balance. For an example, what happened to our kid? Our kid got into many troubles that now today is jailed. According to my thinking, my knowledge as an individual, our kid was not supposed to go to prison. He was supposed to be studied like they studied Sarah Bradman during the apartheid era.
Okay.
Kelly was supposed to be studied, and from him we could learn maybe more about the man.
But after almost a year, then what happened? What should happen?
Yeah, then we can decide on what to do about him. Because of automatical whatever that he did, it's a psychological problem. And he's not the last one. If we cannot study him, there will still be many more of men who are doing actually the same. You understand? But if we study this problem and we can be able to fix it and come with a remedy or some kind of a cure for it. But we rush to do decisions without reflecting on whatever that happened. Remember by the time that the whites they were surprised by Sarah Bradman and her body and all that, they didn't rush to do things of it. They were surprised, and the first thing that they did was to study her.
Okay.
That's the smartest thing you will ever get. Like to study something that you don't even know about. A human's behavior.
Sure.
We're still discovering. We're not fully knowledgeable about the humans. You understand? I just discovered later this year that a child's mind is not fully developed until they turn 28 years old. Did you know that? So, which means the information that we have is still less. We still need to construct our information for the better world.
Hi, okay. So, enough about the book because now for me, how can we get the book if I want the book?
Honestly speaking, right now I was looking forward to work with departments, mostly education, departments of education around neighborhoods, locations everywhere. To dealing with departments of education, it makes things much better because I can at least reach, for an example, 200 people once.
Okay.
You understand? Instead of going one by one. You get my point. So that was my main goal. And I thought by this time the book would be as well as on shops. But because of I'm running on my own energy, not yet sponsorships or things like that. So I have to maintain job, I have to maintain the hustle so I can make copies and I can travel, I can meet people and such things like that. And make time as well as for the marketing and all those type of things, which is kind of not easy.
Do you think so? Sorry, like while you are taking like totally a question, do you think like it discourages bana ba lona ba from Kasi, but from 0264 ba ntse ka di talent tsa bona ba ha ba bolela reason being hore a bana di sponsor ha bana motho le reng a ka ba thusa. So do you think like discourage that thing of working alone, doing everything alone, not having the sponsor and not having someone I'll recognize?
Yeah, honestly speaking, we need a platform. And then a platform makes things better. It cannot discourage. Yes, at some point it does. Because of you spread yourself too thin, and at the end of the day, you end up exhausted. You cannot even move forward with whatever that you plan on moving forward with. But everything when it starts, you are on your own. It's the business world. Before people believe in you, you have to believe in yourself first. You understand? So it's in both sides. But coming from locations like Lethabi, like opportunities are a bit far. It's not easy for like targets or I can say scouters to be around and looking for kind of opportunities. Because of most of successful people around here, they're not looking forward to develop others. Yeah, like it's all about you know, as black people, we still looking or seeking approval from the others that we are doing okay. Instead of maybe having 2 million in my account and then opening a business that can support the other kids and all them, I'd rather go and buy a car with 2 million. You understand? It's just that we're still seeking approval from the others. But I believe that with time we might be better.
Okay. So if I want that book,
I'm mobile everywhere. I can come wherever you are. I as well do the courier. Yes. So it's easy for me to transport the book. I believe even if maybe you're in USA, I can still ship it.
Okay now. Okay.
Yes.
So motivate young people
Okay. Stick to your guns. Stick to your guns. Don't let anybody tell you that you cannot do something.
Sure.
You understand? Because we don't know the possibilities. We don't know nothing about the possibilities. Stick to your guns. Don't let anybody tell you what you can do and what you cannot do. Always stay focused. On bad days, good days, sad days, stay focused. And when you cry, don't cry to give up. Cry whereas you keep on moving forward. Because of when you give up, you lose like almost everything that you have worked for. The sweat, it was for nothing. But with the progress, then comes the motivation. And don't wait for the motivation. Become the motivation, and you will find the motivation along the way.
Hey, come on, become the motivation. Yeah.
Because of, I mean, like motivation is 10% only in this 100% of the ethic. It's only 10%, and you cannot rely on 10% to be successful. And in business, I hear most of young people like to talk about money when they start a business. And then even money in any business, you find out that money is almost 10 to 20% that is needed. The rest of 80% is effort. Effort makes the difference. Even when you have a talent, if you don't practice on your talent, somebody who doesn't have a talent but takes more effort, they can even take you out of your game. You understand? Because there are people who are concentrated, and then concentration changes everything. I mean, when you are focused monomaniacally on something, I believe that even the chemicals that are going on inside of your head, they can easily adjust and become concentrated on whatever that you want. You know, myelin and all these things, they just automatically focuses on whatever and takes it from nothing and bringing it to an existence. Yes.
For more information,
you can check out my Facebook page, Titus Thapelo Motlhamme. Or you can look for Street Soldiers Media Entertainment, and you'll find some of the jobs that we used to do, things like that.
Okay. Instagram, Twitter, you know, something, TikTok. Hello,
I wasn't that much more stronger on social media, but like we're living in a digital world, so I'm still like constructing myself to become more strong. Even on Twitter, Titus Thapelo Motlhamme, Instagram, Titus Thapelo Motlhamme /tblog.
Okay, thank you so much for agreeing to come and read about the book and about yourself, right?
Thank you.
Guys, and we have learned. So if I don't know, but hey, please make sure that you buy this book. Now I'm gonna buy. Yeah, I bought. But anyways, please don't forget to like and share and subscribe. See you on my next video. Bye.
Thank you. Let's make the information flawless.